first horror movie of 2025 is finally here. There's no better way to kick off the genre this year than with Wolfman, which is directed by Leigh Whannell, who is an incredibly prolific filmmaker within the space. The man wrote and created the original Saw with James Wan and directed Upgrade, which is a fantastic and underrated movie. He also did The Invisible Man remake in 2020, which was also great. His distinct visual style is clear and his filmmaking capability is also well tuned. He knows how to create dynamic and connect moments that engage the audience from start to finish and never let them go. For that reason, he's one of the most innovative and creative horror filmmakers working today. So whenever he does a new movie, I'm there to check it out immediately. And this one seems right for his style. Wolfman follows Blake, played by Christopher Abbott, who travels with his wife Charlotte, played by Julia Garner, and daughter to his father's old home in the remote Oregon wilderness after his passing. On the way, they are attacked by a mysterious animalistic creature and seek refuge inside his father's old farmhouse, watching as the creature continues to stalk them from the outside. However, Blake is also infected with something, which causes Charlotte to consider whether they are safer inside or out. This is the simple premise in which you would expect a filmmaker like Whannell to go completely off the rails and make it his own thing, and he kinda does, although the film doesn't stick the landing in nearly as satisfying regard as his other works. Christopher Abbott is absolutely incredible as the titular character here. He's already played a man controlled by external forces in the smash hit horror film Possessor, and he continues to amaze me with this grotesque and visceral physical work he conveys. Aside from the transformation effects, his mental downfall as he succumbs to the lycanthrope disease is insane to track throughout the film, and this, coupled with sequences in which Whannell goes full stylistic behind the camera, makes for moments where my jaw legitimately dropped. You will not expect these moments at all. Whannell places us directly into his headspace as he becomes this other creature, and we get to see how his senses are slowly heightened in comparison to the other characters within the film. This is done in moments in which the sound design is amplified to an insanely uncomfortable degree, and lighting effects are manipulated, making for a disorienting and borderline psychedelic experience that is incredibly effective at transporting you into this alternate mind space. Julia Garner is also quite good as his wife Charlotte, who slowly has to come to terms with their ever-evolving and changing situation and has to decide what's best not just for her, but for her daughter as well. The dynamic between the three characters is heightened by key moments throughout, in which their relationship is explored in such a poignant and profound way. This makes the downfall of Blake and his transformation so much more heart-wrenching and difficult to watch, as he begins to give into a side of him that at first seemed repressed and unreachable. The key idea of whether you're truly safe inside your own home is also something the film raises to great effect. These characters truly do not feel a true moment from safety from peril, as something is always stalking them, whether inside their own home or outside their home. Outside, the creature slowly continues to patrol the grounds of the house, making escape unreachable, while inside the house, Blake slowly starts to become something truly horrifying, endangering both Charlotte and her daughter's lives and giving the audience little time to breathe. There is so much that Wolfman does right, but the real problem is at the end of the day, it's not a particularly solid end product. Don't get me wrong, it has its moments by far. Leigh Whannell is going absolutely insane behind the camera in many moments throughout. But the real problem is that it's discouraging and disappointing to see such blatant major studio meddling in the final product. Legitimately, nothing that is wrong with this movie is at the fault of Whannell. He delivers with ease. He does exactly his own thing that he knows he can do well. He delivers sequences that showcase the same vision and scope delivered in his other films. What the film lacks in, however, is knowing when to quit. After an admittedly cool cold open, the film spends the next 20 minutes hashing out a tedious and unneeded dynamic to tell the story that drags down the pacing overall considerably. The last act also falls more in line with mainstream tendencies than you would expect from a film like this. The middle portion of the film is where the movie truly shines, in which Whannell shows a true return to form like you wouldn't believe. The problem, however, is that it's sandwiched by two bookends of white noise that do little to progress the depth and maturity this film attempts to set up in the middle portion. The script is laughably bad at parts, the character development is all over the place, and the ending itself is so blatant in terms of execution that it feels shockingly surface level after everything the film does up to that point. This is why I am so sure that Whannell was truly not allowed creative control fully over this one. The middle portion feels so different in terms of execution and craft from the rest of the film. It feels like a different filmmaker entirely did those portions of the film. I'd really be interested to see how much was cut from Whannell's original version of this. I just don't understand the need for a studio to not give someone as capable as Whannell full creative control of a film like this. If anyone was going to pull off this premise, it was him, and he kind of does. However, to undermine the strengths of this with something so blatant and surface level is truly depressing. I mean, we should just let filmmakers experiment and create. That's what the art form is. Why are studios so scared to let artists do something different and unique from the norm? For this reason, I'm still going to recommend you see Wolfman in theaters. Granted, you'll have to sit through a lot of white noise to get to the substantial portions of this in which Whannell truly shines, but the sequences in which Whannell really returns to form make the journey all the more worth it. If you're anything like me, however, and you watch movies through a critical lens, you'll watch Wolfman and realize that this truly had the makings of something unique and special, but it failed to live up to that potential in any form. Granted, the end result is perfectly average at best. It's really just a fine movie, but seeing a film like this that has so many memorable and artistically driven moments, undercut with a finished result that feels uneven and tonally off at times, is a level of disappointment that you can't even put into words. That's why I'm giving Wolfman a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this review on my channel. If you're new around here and you like the content you see, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below, like the video, and turn on push notifications. Also, leave comment suggestions down below for future video, essay, and review topics. With that being said, until next time, this is Mitchell signing off. Peace out.